The inability to objectively put yourself in the shoes of both sides is the flaw in this convo. We're not talking fair. We're talking market value based on current. I think we have been very fair in putting ourselves in both sides of this convo.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about what the current coaching market is, and that has a floor of about 9 million when you're dealing with coaches who have just recently signed, somewhere between 9 and 10. Then you have to talk about what Deion Sanders brings to the table, and I think that number is north of 11. If Kirby Smart is at 13, so that's the gulf to me right there. And if someone is proposing less than 9, dog, that's insulting.
Yeah, I mean, and I 1,000% broke it down. I didn't even go at 10. I said, you know what? I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna go with Kurt Signetti's number. I just said it.
Yeah,
I literally just said. I mean, can we not agree
Duke,
that you can?
let me ask you this, Duke, because you're intelligent. You can defend your position.
All right.
Does Signetti do more for Bloomington than Coach Brian does for Boulder?
It's a basketball school.
All right. That's no
football
that's
was never
no
king in Indiana.
Hey, Chico. No further questions of the witness. That's all I need. I just need the jury to hear that.
That's a basketball school. Let me tell you something. There's certain schools, it don't matter what you do and how successful you are. Look at the run Auburn is on right now in basketball. #1 team in the country. If it was football, it would be plastered everywhere. ESPN would be running these articles every day. That's all you would hear about. It's a football school. And no disrespect to Coach Pearl and what he's doing, but it's and the same thing in Indiana. Indiana can be a great story for a year or two, but you know what's going to make a ton of headway and what would get the type of what would get in the atmosphere or the realm of the type of media exposure that Colorado gets if Indiana was #1 in basketball. If Indiana was #1 in basketball, if Indiana had that type of turnaround in basketball, that's what would bring that type of media exposure. But you're not going to get that. But and right now, I literally have not seen Colorado on TV outside of Coach Prime for any sport. I haven't seen them in Atlanta. Now maybe locally you may see them, but we're not catching none of that here. No. But I guarantee you, on every Saturday, you can see Colorado play football in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Look, if we just take our feelings out of it and keep it a buck nasty, it's the same thing I was saying about offering him an incentive-laden contract. Nowhere in the history of him signing contracts, the Braves, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Ravens, the Yankees, Cincinnati baseball team, you name it, has this brother been in an incentive position. Like, he is who he is, and he brings to the table, And for some people out there, I don't care if you're on ESPN or in this chat, if you're thinking that Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, is doing this for leverage, you just ain't been watching. You don't know him. Like what leverage what false leverage, false narrative does he have to push to state his value? You have seen his value. Out of all of the football teams in America who've been doing what they've been doing for decades, only one football team has had every game nationally televised this year, and that's Colorado. Who has had a 700% increase in merchandise sales? Who is gotten real NIL deals for their players? Who won a Heisman Trophy? Who won the Johnny Unitas Award? Who took a program from 1-11 to 4-8 to then 9-4? And you talk about this as like a leverage game, that all this is being faked to drive the number up. The number is being driven up because of who he is and what he accomplishes, and he's done that everywhere he's been. He didn't have to create some leverage buzz to make 49ers want him. He didn't have to create some leverage buzz to make Jerry Jones want to get him for the 49ers. All he did was kick the Cowboys' ass, and the Cowboys said, you know what? We'll put a stop to that. That wasn't no fake leverage, no false narrative. That was him being who he is and doing what he does. And when people see it, like, man, if it's working over there, just think what it'll do over here.
Haven't won since he left, for real.
Come on, man.